to Southern Nevada, where the torch, in honor of the legendary owner Al Davis, has just been lit, as is tradition before kickoff at Allegiant Stadium, just off the Strip in Las Vegas. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Las Vegas Raiders. Mike Tirico and Greg Olson, glad you were with us, and Daniel Carlson here to get things started. And off we go from Vegas. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Cleveland offense set to take the field for the first time. They're led out by the son of the Hall of Famer out of Colorado, Deion's son, Shedeur Sanders.
I'm not sure there was a more heralded player at the quarterback position, Mike, regardless of where they were drafted, than Shedeur Sanders coming out of Colorado. I mean, he was the story of the year, him in prime. Now the question is, can he bring that efficiency and explosiveness that we saw on Saturdays? Can he find that groove and rhythm in the NFL? And I think all the talent is there. How does he adapt to the NFL game? How does he adapt to being the face of an NFL franchise? I think if he can manage all of those things, I think on the field, he has all the talent you need to be successful at quarterback in the NFL.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Shedeur. Oh, right at the outset, he lost the football. And one of the Browns is in there, and yes, Cleveland able to retain possession.
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
This opening drive not going as scripted. It is 3rd and long. Open man, and that's Tillman. And he couldn't get free along the sideline. He's out of bounds, no gain, and it sets up 4th down.
Now listen, I'm going to give the guy credit. It was a really nice catch, keeping his feet in bounds along the sidelines. It just doesn't amount to much in the grand scheme of things.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. So the Raiders come out, and Greg, they make a change at quarterback in the offseason. It is now year 13 for Geno Smith, but year 1 in silver and black.
Now, this is the type of quarterbacks that just give defensive coordinators nightmares. They stay up all night thinking, okay, what is the best way to defend him? Do we treat him as a runner? Do we treat him as a passer? And I think that's really where the most stress comes in, Mike, is you want to make sure you don't let him kill you with his legs downfield as a runner, but it's also his ability to extend plays as a passer that really creates a lot of stress on your back-end coverage, and that's where those big plays can come. So it's a big challenge. They know it, and we'll find out early on what the plan is.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Really no hesitation on the part of the quarterback, Mike. I mean, he knew where that open receiver was going to be. Based on his pre-snap read, the defense did nothing to alter that picture, and that's a great play to start this drive.
They'll go with the rookie out of Boise State, Ashton Jeanty. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5.
Carson Schlesinger on the tackle. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Browns' 18-yard line.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Jeanty. Oh, and he'll take this one in. Ashton Jeanty. Touchdown, it's Raiders.
You just don't see these kind of holes too often at this NFL level, Mike, and you can see once he got the ball, the clear line to the end zone, he doesn't get touched, and an unfortunate defensive breakdown here ends up costing him 6 points.
Daniel Carlson on to attempt the extra point. He's got it. And the Raiders will take a 7-0 lead.
Raiders 7, Browns nothing.
Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off following the touchdown on the other end. On the return, it's Jerome Ford. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Browns offense ready to get going with their second possession. They were forced to punt the first time through. It led to a touchdown, so down 7-0 as they get the ball back for 1st and 10. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. They'll open this drive on the ground with 4. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Sanders. That's caught. It's Jerome Ford. We'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
From the gun, it's Sanders. Nowhere to go. He is taken down. Max Crosby, motor always running, gets there for the sack.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
A fair catch. He's going to call it and take it right around his own 30-yard line. The Raiders offense about ready to get going on their 2nd possession. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Genty to start the drive. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Genty. He's able to get away from one man, but the reinforcements were there fast. He's taken down for a loss on the play.
He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
In motion, that's Thornton. From the gun, it's Gino. And that is incomplete.
intended for Trey Tucker.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on third down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up and they fail through the air, and we're going to have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
And no return on this one. Fair catch signaled for and taken. Browns offense headed back to take over once more. And so far, 2 drives, 2 punts, no first downs. Not a winning formula as they start drive number 3. On play action, Shador. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Landon Roberts.
That's about as bad as it can possibly get. Mike, we're only 1 play into the drive. You're trying to establish a little early rhythm, get something going, and now you're jogging off the field watching your opponent celebrate in the end zone. So they're going to have to come back out here on offense pretty quickly, regroup, take a deep breath, and try to bounce back.
Carlson now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Raiders move out on top, 14-0.
Browns nothing.
Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off following the touchdown on the other end. This one taken at the 7. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Browns offense ready for this next possession. They're an early hole, 14-0. They'll start digging out soon. Begin this drive, 1st and 10. Sanders keeping it on the zone read. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a first down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground. And tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around. So continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage. Mix in the runs with the pass. And if they can continue to generate these big explosive runs, I don't think they need to go away from it.
And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
Again, it's 4. And he'll only be able to muster a couple of yards. It is Max Crosby there to wrap him up.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Sanders. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag comes in. That might make this a first down.
Automatic first down.
Now, Sanders. And this time the rush gets home. And down he goes.
To play in the NFL, you got to have a short-term memory because regardless of whether the previous play was good or bad, they're going to line up and snap it again. And in this case, really nice job bouncing back. They put the bad play behind them, forced the sack in the ensuing play, and they're right back on track.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. To throw is Sanders. Open man. That is Barnes. And a good job rallying to the football. Holding just a gain of a yard. He sets up 3rd down.
It's 3rd down.
Sanders will throw it. Looking deep here for Tillman. That one's incomplete. Coverage outstanding there. Able to jar the ball free in a big spot. And now it is 4th down.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down. It's something these teams stress all week. There's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down. And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. On the return is Dylan Laube. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The Raiders offense make their way out to take over once more. They're going to be looking to possibly push this to a 3-score advantage. Work to do on this drive. 1st and 10. Play action now. It's Gino. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. Can't ask for much more. 22 yards on the first play of the drive.
1st and 10 at the 45.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes. And these are body blows on any defense. This quarterback has the ability to make guys miss and do a lot of damage in the run game. And that's a nice pickup there.
Genty going to get it on the zone read. No dice there. He is met and tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Defenses always have to make a decision, like how do they want to defend the zone read? Some teams want the quarterback to keep the ball. They want the ability to tackle the quarterback. Other teams, they want it to be a give read, and that's what we saw here. They were ready for it, and they take the running back down for a loss.
Smith from the gun on 3rd down. He has Lockett over the middle. He's going to have the 1st down. So they convert on 3rd down with a pickup of 9.
1st and 10.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball, modest gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Genty. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game and the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
Getting the tight end involved in the run game here. And that should be enough. He works his way forward to pick up a first down.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run game. Third and short, fourth and short, the ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and to say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
On first down is Smith. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down.
Oftentimes, it's the wide open ones that are the hardest to catch. It seems like the ball is in the air forever. You start overthinking it, you start really making more of it than what you should, and you let it slip away.
Man in motion here is Tucker. Now, a second down throw for Smith. And that's going to wind up incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
From the shotgun, it's Smith. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete. Dante Thornton was the intended target. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way. So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for three, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
Back out is Carlson following the made field goal. And he sends this kickoff away. Here comes Ford on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Now it's the Browns' turn as they get set to take over again on offense. They'll start out first down and 10. Shador, here's a screen set up for 4. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
A 3-yard pickup brings up second and 7 at the 29-yard line.
From the 29, here's second down and 7. Here's Sanders to throw. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete. Jerry Jeudy, the intended target. Third down coming up.
Initially, a nice job by the receiver. He actually was open downfield. He was able to get behind the defense, but the window closed up so quickly they couldn't get the ball to him. Prevents the big play.
On third down, Sanders. He'll try to run for it.
That's a great job defensively. Even though they let him escape the rush initially, there was nowhere to go with either the ball or as a runner, and they're able to force fourth down.
Here's Corey Bojorquez now, as he is on to punt for Cleveland. And a fair catch is taken. It is just inside the 20-yard line. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off first and 10. start on the ground with Genchi. And he'll get this at the 25, out to the 27. A pickup of 7.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Working out of the gun, Smith. Middle, he's got Tucker. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
I'm not sure what was the more difficult aspect of the play. Winning his route versus man coverage or catching this pass, because that quarterback, he put a little extra sauce on that one to get it there on time, and he's able to secure a really nice catch.
A first down throw for Smith. He'll hit Tucker on the slant. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line. 4 catches already in this opening quarter, off to a hot start as he picks up the first down.
At the 46-yard line.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
Smith now to throw on first down.
When you call these double moves, you're going for broke. You're looking to throw this ball over the head of the defense, so give a lot of credit to the defensive backs. Yes, it led to a completion, but this was not the big play the offense intended when the coordinator called that play.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 4. On the handoff, this is Genchi. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
Some defensive ends specialize in getting after the quarterback. Some defensive ends specialize in run game. This guy can really make an impact on both, as we saw here for that tackle for loss.
From the shotgun, Smith. Gets that one complete to his tight end, Bowers. And he will get into the end zone. Brock Bowers. Touchdown, Vegas. What a catch and run by the tight end as he takes it into the end zone and finishes the play. Greg, you know what that's like. Tight end touchdown.
Mike, so often the tight ends are considered to be the possession guys, right? They're the guy you throw it to when you need an easy catch, you need a reliable target. But not this guy. He is a downfield weapon, and he just showed you right there what he's capable of.
Now Carlson to add the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Raiders extend to a 24-3 lead. Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off, following the touchdown on the other end. Here comes Ford on the return. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Browns offense ready to get back to work. They are facing an uphill climb early. Begin this drive with 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Ford. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Now it's Sanders. That's into the hands of Judy on the right side. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
14 yards.
A pickup of 14 on that one. First down, Cleveland.
First and 10.
It's so early in the game, you have to be careful now as coaches and players that you don't find yourself trailing early and get out of your game plan. There is so much time left. Stick to what you've worked on all week. There's plenty of time to chip away and see if you can make this thing close come the fourth quarter.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45. That's a gain of 16. This offense is humming. A first down.
16 yards. First down, Cleveland.
On the handoff, Moore. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter. We are through one. It's the Raiders with the early lead. And we're back in Vegas after this. Start of the second. Browns in control of the football. So, from the 37, here's second and 4. From the shotgun, give to Ford. His defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
Well, as been the case this entire first half, it's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. Now, here comes the screen to Ford. That screen goes for 12, and that's a first down.
A gain of 12 yards. That's another Browns first down. First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the first down anyway.
First and 10, here comes Ford. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
At the 27-yard line.
So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half. You become very one-dimensional. You become very pass-heavy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play.
And that one's incomplete, but a late flag comes in. Looked like he might have gotten there early.
Automatic first down.
So, here's a first and 10 now, down inside the 20. Up the middle, here's Ford. And not much there. Good defense, held to no gain.
We spent so much time, Mike, talking about these defensive backs and their ability in pass coverage, but when you also have a defensive back that can make plays in the run game, especially behind the line of scrimmage, man, those guys are just so hard to find. That was a heck of a job here by this guy.
That one to the end zone, but incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
They come to the line needing 11 here on third down. From the gun, it's Shador. And he just gets rid of this one. To the sideline, it is incomplete. He did not want to throw the interception there. And now it is fourth down.
And you think back earlier, remember, Mike, he threw that pick six in a very similar situation. So this time around, much better decision. Doesn't take any chances. Smart move to just throw that one away.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Browns cut 3 off the lead, but they still face a sizable deficit. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Laube now to return it. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith getting ready for their next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. They go play action with Smith. That's to the right side and caught by Bowers. And he'll try to use that size and push forward, but it will not work. They're going to get him down behind the line.
Linebacker certainly wasn't fooled on that play. Not only does he get there in a hurry, but he's able to secure that tackle and bring him down for a loss.
Throwing on 2nd down, Smith. That's left side to Tucker. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line. Already closing in on 100 yards receiving in the first half. That one picks up a first down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
From the gun, it's Geno. Oh, man, open downfield is Thornton. A big play there for the Raiders. And even 30 yards.
That's another Las Vegas first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
This offense find themselves with a big lead here, but remember, it's still the first half, Mike. There's a long way to go. Defensively, they've got to buckle down. They have to find a way to put a lid on this offense, because if they don't, they're going to find themselves at the halftime break down by a whole lot.
Oh, in trouble, and down he goes.
And a really nice job by the defense responding with a big play of their own following that last long gain. So these two teams, they continue to trade blows back and forth at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of this drive plays out.
What is this?
Guys, what are you doing?
What a waste of time.
They'll go play action. It's Smith. Oh, this pass rush dialed in right now. They get him again. That's the 4-time All-Pro Myles Garrett getting in for the sack. And that's going to lead to 3rd and very long.
Just not a lot of plays on that call sheet for the offensive coordinator for 3rd and a mile. So that's a huge sack there that they took on 2nd down. And barring something dramatic happening here, it might have just killed any chance of extending this drive.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw. And even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway. And it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
And this will go down as a punt inside the 20 as it continues out of bounds. The Browns offense ready to take over once more. They'll try to get this a bit more respectable before the break. It has not been their half to this point. Let's see what they do on this drive. 1st down now. Off the play fake. Here's Sanders. He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes. Adam Butler in there to drop him. Loss of 5 to start the drive.
What a first half for this pass rush, huh, Mike? I mean, they have just completely dominated this game. They are in complete control, and you have to imagine this offensive line, there's got to be some adjustments up front. They just cannot allow their quarterback to continue to be hit like this.
To throw is Sanders. They'll try to set up the screen here. And that is really well read defensively. They get him down back at the 9-yard line.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped. And that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
Now Sanders on 3rd and long. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line, and if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
The Browns getting their punting team out there, as he'll be standing just inside the back line of the end zone. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Raiders offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll have a short field in front of them as they try to extend this lead out further. Zone read, he'll hand it to Gxlden. And he'll be taken down at the 25-yard line. 18 yards on the pickup there. First down, Vegas.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's second down.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You could see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
3rd and long. To throw. Smith. And he'll take it on in. Gxlden. Touchdown, Las Vegas. He has a touchdown run earlier. Now add a TD reception.
You know, Mike, at this level, not all touchdowns are created equal. There's some plays that result in touchdowns, and then there are touchdown strikes. And this one is the latter. I mean, you talk about a confidently thrown ball on the money downfield. It doesn't get a lot better than this, and his receiver is able to take it in for 6.
Carlson now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Raiders add on one more as they extend their second quarter lead. Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off following the touchdown on the other end. Here comes Ford on the return. He'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. Browns offense ready to come back out for this next possession. We'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
Still 1st down.
Now a handoff to Ford. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
From the gun, it's Sanders. That's over the middle and caught by Judy. That's how you get yourself out of a 2nd and 20 hole. Big gain there. It'll leave them just shy of the 1st down.
This is a really nice job of just finding a hole in coverage, Mike. And I used to say, hey, when you're open, stay open. That's the art of route running versus zone coverage. And it's a friendly target for the quarterback in space, and they're able to convert.
And that's going to be enough for a 1st down, taking this to the 34.
When done correctly, Mike, this is just such a high percentage call. It's kind of hard to choose another play off your call sheet. It's impossible to defend. You can know it's coming, stack the box, whatever you want to do. But most of the time, they'll just drive forward and pick up the 1st down.
Out of the gun, they'll give it, and it's Ford. He'll look this ahead for 2, maybe 3. Devin White, that time on the stop.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. Out of the gun, it's Sanders. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. Adam Butler gets him for a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
We're not even at halftime yet, Mike. I mean, this pass rush has completely taken over the game. It's just sack after sack after sack. This is going to be a long day for this offensive group if the O-line doesn't figure something out here in a hurry.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Sanders. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So anytime you find yourself in 3rd and long, it's hard to really be unpredictable as a play caller because the defense knows it's most likely going to be a pass. They understand where the down and distance markers are, and there's really nowhere for him to go with the ball, and he has to throw it away.
And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. The Raiders offensive Geno Smith getting ready for their next possession. And he has done everything you could ask of him coming into this one. He spread it around, hasn't taken many chances, and potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. Run right up the gut with Genty. He'll work forward for a couple. Isaiah McGuire up for the stop.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 7. Once again, it's Genty. That one never got started. Defensive pressure too much, and they drop him in the backfield.
Back at the 25-yard
The key
line.
to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
From the shotgun, it's Smith. That one caught by Tucker. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team.
It's
Fourth down.
That's just one of those drives that was out of whack from the start, Mike. They just couldn't get anything going on the early downs, and they'll most likely punt the ball away and hope that their defense can do the same thing and get them the ball back.
It looks like we've got an injured Brown on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Open this drive on the ground with 4. He'll move the pile forward. Let's give him a couple. And Landon Roberts in there on the tackle.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 21-yard line.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 8. They'll run once more with 4. And he will not be able to get free, picking up only a yard. Now, it's 3rd down.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
They need to get to the 29 here, facing 3rd down. Now, Shador. Quick throw here is complete. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
It's been a rough first half, but now as we approach halftime, Mike, you got to start getting some wins, and it could be something small like we just saw here. Some positive plays, build a little confidence on that sideline, so as you go into halftime, you have something to build on.
Throwing now, Sanders on first down. And that one's not fooling anyone. They were on that screen from the start, and a loss of yards on the play.
Well, the best screen plays, of course, you want the offensive lineman out in front of the running back. They act as his escort, his lead blockers. But what you can't afford is for the defenders to be in the backfield and get to the running back, because those offensive linemen, they can't help him at all.
Going deep downfield for Judy. And he will go all the way. Jerry Judy. Touchdown, Cleveland. They get the job done in the air. Greg, that is a play we see often. It's also a play we see work very often.
Mike, that 4 vertical route, it puts a ton of pressure on the secondary. But in order to do that, you have to give your quarterback time for those receivers to get downfield. Give credit to the offensive line. That's exactly what they did. They're able to take advantage for the strike.
Extra point attempt to come here. He's got it. And the Browns are able to edge a bit closer.
Raiders 31, Browns 13.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Lobby now to return it. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there.
At their own 25.
The Raiders offense and their wide receiver getting ready to get back to work. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in the first half, it's resulted in a big play that is borne out by those eye-popping numbers. From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Play action now. It's Gino. Oh, nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
1 yard gain.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
Trying to get it to his tight end, Brock Bowers.
Incomplete.
And it's going to be 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down. And
He's just
9
unable
yards
to
go.
secure the catch through the contact, and really nice job timing that hit up by the defense. And at this point, all you can do is get up, get back in the huddle, and hope your quarterback gives you another shot.
Smith from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, we sit up here all the time, and we try to break down why certain plays work or don't work. Well, this one's not real tricky. I mean, he just simply needs to catch the ball. I mean, that close to the 1st down chain, he just catches that ball and turns upfield. They extend this drive. He's got to come over to the sideline, take a deep breath, tell his guys, hey, man, that's on me. And he's got to go out and make that next play because his team's going to need him to play better as the rest of this game continues.
The Browns offense and Jerry Jeudy getting set for their next possession. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Now, Sanders. That's over the middle to his tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. The Browns going to use the first of their timeouts here. And they'll stop it just over a minute remaining in this first half. Now Shador on 1st down. That is incomplete. There's no way to force a football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
Now Sanders to throw on 2nd down. That is incomplete.
So I really like the decision, Mike. This is a rookie quarterback making more veteran decisions, and I think in his growth process this early on in his career, those are really good signs because how often do we see these rookies still think they're back in college, they're the best player on the field, and they can make every throw, even if it's not there. You're not going to get away with that consistently in the NFL. Throw it away. Really nice job here by the young quarterback.
And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
On comes with the punter now, as they are forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The Raiders offense and Ashton Genty heading back out onto the field here. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10.
Wait for this.
wind up with a gain of 7 on first
Brings
down.
up 2nd and 3 at the 15-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. One final throw before the break. He'll locate Thornton over the middle. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Mike Tirico and Gxlden.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. Welcome back, everyone, for quarter number 3. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. Laube now to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense and the wideout getting set to go once more. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Smith. That's to the right side, and caught by Ballard. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
Mike, think back to our conversation during the break. We've kind of both asked ourselves, are they content with this double-digit lead? Do they come out and play conservative here in the second half? Well, it took exactly one play to get our answer.
A first down throw for Smith. This one not quite on target. Too much. That one falls incomplete. Trey Tucker, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
He'll get this complete to his tight end Ballard. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line. A big play there for the Raiders. 32 yards.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
There's two types of tight ends in the league, Mike. There's guys that are just possession receivers. You're going to have to script them open with your play calls, safe, reliable targets. And then there's guys who can go big. They can get downfield exactly like we saw here on this post route, and they can pick up some big chunk plays.
That is brought in at the 10. And they continue to be tough to stop. Chance to extend the lead even further as they are set up with 1st and goal.
Now, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
And he's going to be down close to the goal line. Good job defensively to make sure he did not get to the end zone.
And goal at the 2-yard line.
From the 2 now, here's 2nd and goal. Dingy. This defense backed up, but they bring the fire there. Stop him before he can get past the 3-yard line.
It's
In
now
these
third
goal-to-go
and
situations
goal.
backed up on your own goal line, Mike, what they teach the defense is it's your job to establish a new line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what they did here. Watch the push they get. The offensive line goes backwards, and they take the ball carrier down for a loss.
They'll try to set up the screen to Genty. And he's into the end zone yet again. Ashton Genty. Touchdown, Raiders. That is his third touchdown of the afternoon.
You can just see the comfort, Mike, that this offense continues to play with. The early momentum in the first half has carried here after the break, and you can see this group just slowly starting to pull away.
I'm thinking, Greg, about the guys on the other side. You're waiting at halftime, that other offense waiting to get back on the field. What happens? They come right out, extend the lead, and now the task gets a lot tougher for this second half. Now Carlson to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Raiders will extend this third quarter lead.
38, Browns 13.
Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off, following the touchdown on the other end. Here comes Ford on the return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Browns offense ready for their first possession of this second half. They're in need of points in a big way as they set out on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Shador. Open man, and that's Tillman. And he's got it to the 35-yard line.
It's a gain of
They
11.
get 11 and quickly pick up a first down.
First down.
And up until this point, we haven't seen a lot go their way, but here in the third quarter, they're starting to find some plays. They're starting to get some opportunities. Just got to ask yourself if it's too little, too late.
A run straight ahead. That's Ford. A nice pickup moving it across the 40. We'll give him 6 on that play.
On the tackle. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 4. Throwing over the middle, this one is complete. Down the sideline, and he will score. Jamari Brown, touchdown Browns.
The
Point
kicker
after,
on for the
coming up
extra
here.
point.
It's up and good. And the Browns are able to cut into the deficit.
Browns 20.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Lobby now to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. On play action, Smith. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line. Malik Collins in there for the sack, worked his way through. It's a loss of 5.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. This defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
Throwing on 2nd down, Smith. He'll find Gentry out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down up past the 40-yard line. The defense could not bring him down. It's a catch and run of 22 yards.
First down. 1st and 10.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win, and that's exactly what he did here.
This one finds Lockett down the left side. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another 1st down.
At the 48-yard line.
They'll run it straight ahead now with Gentry. And a good run there to get him 5 yards.
Cameron Thomas on the tackle. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 5. They try the zone read. It's Smith on the keeper.
Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short game.
3rd down and 3. From the gun, it's Gino. Gets that one complete to his tight end Bowers. A gain there of 10 yards. Good for a Raider 1st down.
I know, I'm biased. But listen, you can't convince me, Mike, that there's a better option on the field, especially when you got a guy like this, than on 3rd down or critical moments. That's where the ball needs to go. The size, the speed, the matchup problems that he creates. If I was in a critical situation, there is no doubt where I'm going with the ball.
Here's a handoff to Gentry. And a nice run there on 1st down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2.
He's done a really nice job making the most of his touches. They've made it a priority. Let's use this ground game to try to wear down the defense. And right now, it's one of the main reasons why they have the lead.
They'll go again with Gentry. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 2. You're thinking, I got 2 downs to get 2 yards. How hard can that be? Well, against this defense, it turns out to be a big challenge. They take you back for a loss at 2, and now you find yourself on 3rd down.
They go 5 receivers for 3rd down and 4. From the shotgun, Smith. Got a man, it's Lockett. His 2nd grab on this drive, good for 11 yards, but most importantly, a 1st down.
So So here's a play, Mike, that is clearly designed to attack the middle third of the field. So think it's roughly the space between the numbers. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And once he understood where his leverage was and he gets his head around, great job by the quarterback on time, delivering a strike.
The pressure, too much, and he goes down. Isaiah McGuire. He gets through to drop him, and it's a loss of 4.
Feels like they needed that sack this entire drive. It feels like the defense was really on their heels. The offense was taking it to them really however they wanted to. So to be able to take a deep breath now, disrupt the rhythm of the drive by getting that sack, that might go a long way now to allow them to get off the field.
So after the loss on first, here's 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Smith. He'll step up and run this. And he's in. Geno Smith. Touchdown, Vegas. Greg, nothing changed at halftime. They come right out to start this third quarter and pick up where they left off.
Well, I think this defensive coordinator is going to think back to his halftime speech, Mike, because whatever adjustments he thought they made, it obviously didn't resonate. What we saw happen in the first half, they picked right back up here to start the third quarter, and at this point, the offense has hit its stride, and they continue to pull away.
Carlson now for the extra point. His kick is good, and the Raiders are going to extend their lead.
Makes the score Raiders 45, Browns 20.
Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off following the touchdown on the other end. From the 6, here comes a return. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. Now it's the Browns' turn as they get set to take over again on offense. On play action, Shador. That's over the middle and caught by Judy. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. 75 yards. Touchdown, Cleveland. Extra point try forthcoming. It's up and through. And the Browns are able to edge a bit closer.
Browns 27.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. To return, it is Zamir White. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line.
34-yard line.
The Raiders offense and Geno Smith getting ready for their next possession. And he's had it going in the first half. Really had his way with the secondary. They have been powerless to stop him. Now, they'll try to keep it going.
Keep it up! Keep it up!
Gino now on 1st and 10. And that ball incomplete.
It's clear whatever they were trying to set up was not going to work. He went through his entire progression, had nobody to throw the ball to, and just kind of surrenders the play and throws it away.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Gino to throw. That one incomplete. Good job, textbook there, separating the man from the ball, and it'll bring up third down.
And I think when you look back on the first half, this was an element of the defense that really was missing. There was a lot of open windows, a ton of green grass for the receivers to make uncontested catches. So nice change of pace here. Continue to force the issue and make these guys earn the catch.
He's going to air this one out. That is brought in. And he'll be marked down at the 15-yard line. It's another big play in a game that's had its share. It covers 51 yards.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Pretty easy to see why he continues to be a main focal point for this offense throughout the entire game. That play not only extends the drive, but now they find themselves in plus territory and hope to come away with some points.
The run toss to Genti. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
And this is a great example of why it's so important on defense to sprint to the ball. His ability to make people miss is hard for one guy to get him on the ground. But when you can get everybody to the ball, eventually you can take them down. And in this case, they do it for a loss.
On 2nd down, Smith. There's Lockett for the catch. And they continue to be tough to stop. Chance to extend the lead even further as they are set up with 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal.
Now, there's not a lot to this route. Man coverage, and you got a drag route. Give him a little something off the line and go. Win with speed. Good, accurate ball on the front shoulder pad allows him to pick up the rest after the catch and leads to a big gain.
No, he's not going to get in. In fact, they've shoved him backwards.
This is a play, Mike, that makes me want to run down there, throw on a uniform, and try to help out. I mean, I think at this point, I could help clear enough room to get 1 yard. Heck, I might be able to get 1 yard myself. That's disappointing that they're unable to capitalize.
Now, this looks like a design run, and he's going to be knocked down hard behind the line.
Waste of time.
So the last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now, it's 3rd and goal. Lockett headed in motion. Smith from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
You know, kind of interesting. You don't see a lot of teams play dime personnel down here in the real low red zone, Mike, but great job by the defensive coordinator anticipating pass, right personnel, right coverage, and really muddied up that back end for the quarterback.
A 26-yard attempt.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Raiders will extend their 3rd quarter lead.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through and they get 3.
Back out is Carlson following the made field goal. And he sends this kickoff away. Now return coming from the 7. They get across the 20, mark them at the 22-yard line. The Browns offense and Jerry Jeudy getting set for their next possession. They find themselves down 3 touchdowns here, needing to flip the script in a hurry. And they'll start it here on first down. On the ground, this is 4. And they'll bring him down around the 27-yard line. Gxlden Roberts in there on the tackle.
27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Here's 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Sanders. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. Max Crosby in there for a loss of 5 on the sack, and now it's 3rd down.
This has been a masterful game plan defensively. I mean, not only have they found their mismatches and been able to exploit them, it's led to 7 sacks so far. I mean, even when the offense seems to make an adjustment, Mike, the defense just still seems to be one step ahead of them.
On 3rd down, Sanders. This is intercepted. Picked off by Gxlden Roberts. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
For these young rookie quarterbacks, every snap in the NFL is an opportunity to have a lesson learned, and sometimes the lessons come a little bit harder than others. In this case, they kind of fool them with their blitz package. It's a little bit more complex at the NFL level than it is necessarily in college, and I think he just got a first-hand taste of just how fast this pressure can get on you, and sometimes when it speeds up that clock, you can make a bad throw.
Play action now. It's Gino. And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete. Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea of what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
And he brings it down to about the 28-yard line. Devin Bush there on the stop.
At the 28-yard line. That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
"21 is the line to gain as we hit 3rd down. Back is Smith. That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. A pickup of 14 as he takes it to the 14.
That's good for a Las
Really
Vegas
nice timing on that
first
slant
down.
route. You can tell the quarterback and the
First
wide
and 10
receiver
at
are
the
completely on the
14-yard
same
line.
page, and when executed at that level, it's virtually impossible to stop.
Smith gonna keep this himself. Oh, a loose football. And they would get another chance. They cover it up after very nearly squandering a great scoring opportunity.
So as you start operating your red zone offense, of course it goes without saying, Mike, you're trying to score touchdowns. But the worst case scenario is that you bring your field goal unit and you at least try for 3. You have to protect the ball. Turnovers are the cardinal sin of red zone offense. In this case, they dodge a little bit of a bullet here. The ball comes loose. Fortunately for the ball carrier, his own team recovers it. They can keep their offense on the field and see if they can finish this drive. And with that run, Mike, even though it brings up 3rd down, it still keeps this offense in what they call a 50-50 downs. It means with the down and distance provided, you can call a run or a pass, and both are equal threats, and that's what makes it so hard for these defenses.
To the goal line and in. Michael Mayer. Touchdown, Las Vegas. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
Now Carlson to add the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Raiders are able to extend the lead.
55, Browns 27.
Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off, following the touchdown on the other end. Here comes Ford on the return. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. The Browns offense getting set to get back to work. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. From the gun, it's Sanders. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down.
And that's another brutal drop for an offense that has struggled to catch the ball up to this point. And yes, you can nitpick about ball placement and whatnot, but listen, the reality is at this level, if it hits your hands, you have to find a way to come down.
And that'll go for a gain of 7, and it's going to set up 3rd down. It looks like we've got an injured Brown on the field. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment. Third and 2. Here we go. We'll try and run for the first with Judkins. And he's going to be running out of bounds, but not until he gets down to the 40-yard line. It's another big play in a game that's had its share. 31 yards.
1st and 10.
Man, how nice is it to have a guy like this? He's your backup running back, but he's kind of a change of pace. He's got that home run ability, and he showed it there. That was a heck of a run.
He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down.
Right on the tackle. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 39-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Sanders. Open man, that is Bond. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. It's another big play in a game that's had its share. And even 30 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. It's 1st and goal now from just inside the 10-yard line. There's a short throw caught by Njoku. And they'll get him down right around the 5-yard line.
David Njoku. A 4-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and goal.
So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. we've come to the end of the third quarter. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Ball right on the 5-yard line, second down and goal. Here's Judkins now as we begin the fourth quarter. And he'll get 3 yards here, down to the 2-yard line.
The 2-yard line. A gain of 3 yards. It's now third and goal.
Third and goal. To throw and he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
And anytime this offense gets themselves going in the right direction, it just seems like the pass rush finds a way to make a play of their own, and they have completely dominated this game up until this point, Mike. I mean, it is no surprise they're playing with the lead as a result.
The offense will stay out there, but they've got some yards to pick up. Fourth down and goal. They'll try to throw for it with Sanders. And he's going to be taken down. Couldn't get rid of the football. They turn it over. Stop on fourth and goal.
You find yourself down big. It's the fourth quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
The Raiders offense and Ashton Genty heading back out onto the field here. This one appears to be safe in hand. It has been a clinical performance to this point. Now they'll try to finish up strong. In motion, that's Thornton. Off the play fake, it's Smith. That's to the right side, and caught by Bowers. And he's taken down, up past the 35.
It's a gain of 20.
He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a first down to boot.
First and 10
And
at
that
the
throw just
36-yard
seems like the
line.
cherry on top of what has been an incredible day for this quarterback. And I wouldn't be surprised here late if we get to see the backup after this drive. And there's one guy in the stadium that has earned the right to stand on the sideline and relax. It's this quarterback.
And good hard running there. He'll push his way forward. Gain of about 5.
Brings up second and 5.
From the 41, here's second and 5. They go play action with Smith. He has Lockett over the middle. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
It's a gain of 16 yards.
16-yard pickup on that one. First down, Vegas.
First and 10.
Now it just seems like this offense is piling on. I mean, after a day where they have completely dominated their opponent, a lot of offense would just be content with handing this ball off, but not this group. They continue to throw the ball, and they continue to get chunk plays, and they showed they're not going to slow down until that final whistle blows.
36-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and 3.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second and 3. Keep it on the ground with Genty. And he'll take this one forward for about 3. And that's a first down.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a third down and short. But there's no need for third down. He was able to get enough on second, and they get a fresh set of downs.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Run out of the gun for Genty. He is met and dropped. Couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Lockett headed in motion. A second down throw for Smith. That's complete to Lockett outright. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a first down to boot.
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that. Sometimes you run all those big bodies out there, you kind of tip your hand. I always love going big jumbo personnel for a play action. In this case, they keep the ball on the ground. The defense knew it was coming, and they suffer a loss.
Throwing on second down, Smith. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target.
Complete to Tyler Lockett. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Trying to keep this drive moving, but it's 3rd and 8. In motion, that's Thornton. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Pass caught right side by Thornton. And he looks to be a bit short of the line. And that is going to bring up 4th down.
We see teams more and more throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, really for 2 reasons. 1, they're confident that they can pick up the first down with yards after the catch. 2, teams' willingness to go for it on 4th down is at an all-time high.
3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you have things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
Back out is Carlson following the made field goal. And he sends this kickoff away. This will be returned from the 6. A good return as he takes it across the 30. The Browns offense ready to see what they can do. Shador on 1st down. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
I feel like their quarterback, for the most part, has looked pretty solid. I mean, it's everybody else that seems to have let him down with the drop balls and the mistakes. That's really what's killing these drives.
A run, and here comes Judkins. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Shador. He's got his man complete. That's Judy. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. And that's going to do it. It'll put him over 200 receiving yards in the game. What a performance. That grab also comes with a first down. Judkins going to get it on the zone read. The ball comes out. And it will be another turnover as this defense
a lot of it just becomes mental. It's like the more you think about it, the more you stress it in practice, it almost gets worse. It's one of those things that when it starts to spiral, it's just hard to pull yourself out.
The Raiders offense ready to get back at it. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. Lockett headed in motion. They'll start by going forward with a pop pass. He's trying to get around the corner, but he can't. He's going to be run down behind the line.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 42-yard line.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11.
Motion.
From the shotgun, Smith. Exiting the pocket right.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold him to just a short game.
3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Gino. And he'll try to get to the marker, but he's going to wind up a yard or 2 short.
A gain of 7.
I'm an aggressive guy by nature, Mike, so whenever I get 4th and short in plus territory, I want to go for it. You're not going to win many games in this league settling for field goals. You have to capitalize when you find yourself in a position to score.
The Browns take over 1st
The Browns
and 10.
offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. Throwing now, Sanders on 1st down. Pass caught by Bond. And he's going to have this one up near the 28. They'll get 11 there. And that's a quick 1st down.
And this completion certainly won't be changing the outcome of the game by any means, but I do think there is something to be said for teams that continue to fight. They continue to try to at least finish this game and have something to build off of going into next week.
And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down.
The ball carrier. The tackle by Jeremy Chin. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 34-yard line.
On play action, Shador looking deep here for Tillman. And he's going to be dragged down, but not until he's inside the 25. It's another big play in a game that's had its share. A pickup of 44 yards.
A pickup of 44 yards on the play. And
1st and 10.
1st down.
Now, Shador. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
Sometimes in the NFL, you have to be careful what you ask for. This offensive line, they were very clear to us this week. They wanted to take on this group. They loved the ability to be challenged. Well, they might have poked the bear a little bit too much because they've now surrendered a whopping 10 sacks in a single game. And I don't think there's been any signs of this pass rush slowing down.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Sanders will throw it. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
You can tell that all these hits, Mike, they're starting to add up. He just doesn't look comfortable. His His eyes aren't downfield. You can see his feet aren't settled. When you get sacked this many times in a game, it's kind of hard to blame him, but he's definitely feeling it.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Sanders. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
I think the defense came in confident that they'd be able to get after the quarterback, right, Mike? When we met with them this week, they felt like they had a really good plan, some exotic looks, some different pressure packages, and it's worked to perfection. I'm not sure they thought they'd be 1 sack away from breaking the NFL record for the most sacks in a single game, but here we are.
Let's see what they do here. This is 4th and long. Now, Sanders. That's going to be incomplete. They felt compelled to go for it on 4th and long. That was a big ask, and the defense turns them away. The Raiders offense about ready to take over once more. Well, the goal here is to run some time off the clock. The game is well in hand as they get back on offense for 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Genty to start the drive. And that'll be a pickup of 3.
Genty, the ball carrier. He's brought down at the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Play action now. It's Gino. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Smith. He'll find Genty out of the backfield. And he's going to be out of bounds. He is well shy where he needed to get to. It'll bring up 4th down. The Raiders send their punt team out.
For the Raiders.
Now a fair catch, and it's going to be a long field. They'll take over right about their own 13. On 1st down, it's Sanders. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
On 2nd down, Sanders. His throw left is complete with Judy.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
That's into the hands of Judy on the right side.
This is a really popular concept on third down. It's good versus man, it's good versus zone. They call it mesh routes or drag routes. They want to create some traffic in the middle of the field and pop the receiver out the backside of the defense. But give credit to the defense. They were ready for it. They rallied to the ball and keeps them short from picking up the first down.
And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Raiders offense, Geno Smith, getting ready for their next possession. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. Little quick pass to the receiver heading right. He'll try to get back to the line, but he's not happy. Gonna lose a yard.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 40-yard line.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Smith. In trouble, and down he goes. The rookie out of Michigan, Mason Graham, gets him for a loss of 4. And that'll set up 3rd down.
So after surrendering their 6th sack of the game, I looked down on the sideline, Mike, and found their offensive line coach. He grabbed his headset, removed it, and he slammed it on the ground. And truthfully, I don't blame him. His unit has been getting worked up front all day in pass protection.
Third and long.
Come on, guys, what are you doing?
From the shotgun, it's Smith. That's caught left side by Bowers. And he'll be out of bounds, well short of the line to gain. And that'll set up 4th down.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
That one hit inside the 10, but it bounces forward into the end zone. And they'll bring it back out to the 20-yard line. So this one, a win for the Raiders. They got out of the gates hot, ran out to the big first quarter lead, and did not look back as they cruise in this one. And that'll do it for my partner, Gxlden. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders, winners here. We'll see if there are other winners outside. So long from Vegas.